My freshman roommate that I went to school with at Baylor, who made the move along with us, him and a crew of people moved into the historic West End of Atlanta, which is where we are right now. And they were just like, man, we've spent so much time chasing the American dream, and there's parts of our city that people that look like us make a little money, and we strive to get out of those places. They're like, we would love to go back in. And so they moved here with an aim to rebuild a community. And they weren't obnoxious with it, but they didn't hide their faith. And they were just like, oh, because look, we're followers of Jesus, and here's what that means. What it means for us is like, we would do things like job readiness programs at the church to equip folks and help them learn the skills that they need to be ready for a job. And as we successfully brought folks through that, what we would find is that people would graduate from the program and they would say, I'm ready, but there were no opportunities here. So we thought, all right, coffee is something that we feel like could help change the economic trajectory. I got into coffee in 2011 out of necessity. So, I'm traveling around the country, I'm speaking, and everywhere that I go to speak, the first thing I do when I get off the plane is I go on Twitter and I say, hey, where are the best shops in Minneapolis, Baltimore, New York, LA, Memphis, Little Rock? Where are the best shops? So I go to all of them. And every time I walked into the front door of the shop, it felt like every school that I went to where I was the only black kid in my class. And so I get to a point, I'm like, maybe I'm just gonna hang up this coffee thing, because I don't want to be like the Tiger Woods of this thing, right? I don't want to be the only one like me. And right before I'm getting ready to hang it up, I start to read in the book, and I read the history of coffee. And it was surprising, because I found out that 1,200 years ago, coffee was discovered and is native to Ethiopia. Ethiopian goat herder, so they say, sees his goats eating this cherry, this fruit, and they come alive, and he's like, what's this? This is the coffee cherry. And you take the pit of that cherry and roast it, and that's where the coffee bean comes from. And but I saw the disconnect, and I'm like, how could something that grows where black and brown folks grow, that economically has a $250 billion impact on the US per year, why isn't something like that in communities like ours? In the Bible, whenever it will use the word remember, like God remembered them, it's not just God mentally thought about them, right? Because God knows all. God doesn't forget things. Memory in the Bible is often associated with movement. God moves towards them. And so our thing is, all right, that word is broad and expansive. What are creative things that we could do? So that's what led us to say, all right, hey, let's come in here and let's try our hand at coffee to help to address some of the material needs of our community that honors the dignity of the people that live here. When it comes to discipleship, I think the distinction that is most helpful is discipleship is simple, but it's not easy, right? Simple and easy are not synonyms. Simple is it's straightforward, right? We don't have to guess what the example of Jesus was. It's clear. It's been outlined. It's been explained. It's been recorded. So it's simple to understand, but it's not easy to reproduce.